Governor Cuomo is certainly under a lot of pressure right now. I still stand behind I don't think he's going to resign, but impeachment is looking like a high probability event, although there is at least one proposal out there meant to help him avoid it. But here's the big problem that Cuomo had over the weekend. As you know, and I'm also just going to take a step back to say that the focus of the impeachment is about sexual harassment and sexual misconduct. And I haven't heard anything, at least so far, about sending seniors with COVID into nursing homes and then lying about it and acting like he was a hero during COVID. I mean, Clay, can we just, that is mind blowing just take that for, like, why isn't that even part of this conversation about this guy's impeachment? Because it goes to the Democrat lockdown narrative, of course.
Not only that, he got caught lying about the data. He got caught lying about the data to the Department of Justice when Trump was still president because he was afraid of what that investigation might further uncover. He got caught lying by the Democratic Attorney General of New York. We're talking about tens of thousands of people in nursing homes who may well still be alive if Andrew Cuomo wasn't the governor. And he totally got skated on all of those challenges and all of those potential charges. The Department of Justice said, hey, we're basically just not even going to consider that. And look, I mean, I'm not trying to downplay the severity of what he is being accused of doing from a sexual harassment perspective, but it ain't killing tens of thousands of people. And so he's ending up under siege from the less significant wrongdoing of his tenure as governor.
It would have been, at the time, it would have been thousands, not tens of thousands, but still lots and lots and lots of people. I mean, we hadn't yet gotten to tens of thousands of dead yet in the city when he gave that order, but we were at thousands, dead in the nursing home specifically, which is obviously horrifying, and yet no accountability for it. And speaking of accountability, one of the accusers came forward over the weekend. This was an executive assistant named Brittany Comiso, who has gone public describing this is bad. This is worse. I will say that about this report, some of the stuff that is included in it, and now this woman coming forward. It's worse than what we have been told before, which was sometimes on this borderline comment stuff. This is essentially groping female subordinates for sexual gratification, which would be also a criminal issue as well as a workplace issue. Here is this former Cuomo aide, Comiso.
Because it was the right thing to do. The governor needs to be held accountable.
Being held accountable to you means seeing the governor charged with a crime.
What he did to me was a crime. He broke the law.
What would be the appropriate punishment, do you think, for the governor? Is it enough if he were to just resign?
I do think he needs to resign, and I also do think that he needs to seek counseling. I do think that he needs professional help. I do think that he has many things that he needs to work through. Now,
saying it's a criminal thing is obviously an escalation of even what we had been told before. Clay, I have to say, I think it's highly, highly unlikely that there will be a criminal charge brought here because there'll be a lack of corroborating evidence in these. And even if there was a criminal charge, a creepy hug doesn't usually land someone, as creepy as it may be, doesn't usually land someone in prison. Groping might, depending, right? They judge these things very specifically, right? Where was someone groped and all the rest of it. But the fact that this guy has been able to get away with this for this long, isn't that alone pretty remarkable?
Not only that he got away with it, but that he was trying to sell himself as a massive proponent of the Me Too movement. Remember, he had celebrities with him when he was signing bills designed to stamp out Me Too in the state of New York. And I think the question is, and it's a good one here, where does this go? Because there's reports that he may be saying, hey, if you don't impeach me, I'll agree not to run again in 2022. Now, I don't know how you would enforce that sort of an agreement, right? I mean, so I don't necessarily buy into it, but we should mention also, Buck, that his top aide, Melissa DeRosa, I believe is her name, has now resigned. She was, many people were saying, one of his top aides and also one of the top protectors in this entire shenanigans in general. And so I don't know. One thing that I wonder, and I'm not sure if this could be part of his contemplation, is if he resigned, said he recognized that he had made mistakes and he needed to go work on his basically comportment and his decision making and all those things. I think on some level, Buck, he may come back and try to run in 2022
no
again.
Way.
Yes,
I'm telling
you,
dude.
If the guy doesn't have anything else in his life, he doesn't even own a home outside of the governor's mansion, I could see him deciding to resign to avoid being impeached, and then almost within a year coming back and trying to be the Democratic nominee.
I'm going to bet you an all expenses night at my favorite Nashville barbecue joint on this one.
I will shake hands on this. I mean, I just don't buy it. So here's the question, Buck. Is he going to ride off into the sunset and disappear? So
he's going to go down fighting, dude. He is a cornered honey badger, and honey badger doesn't give a what.
Yes.
He is not going to stop, man. He's in this fight till the end.
But even if he gets impeached, where does he go? Like his future,
then he wanders the woods and drinks Chardonnay. But here's the thing. That's what Hillary did after she lost the 2016 election. Remember, yoga and Chardonnay. That's what she said. But he's already putting out a strategy. This was just reported on the last couple of hours that his plan right now is to offer to Democrats. Remember, he's got a lot of favors to call in to Democrats. He says, I promise I will not run again. I'll keep that headache from all of you, but you let me finish out my term. Now they're saying, oh, that's not compelling. Okay, but behind the scenes.
Also, how's it enforceable?
Well, right. But behind the scenes, I mean, I guess at that level, then the Democrats could just say, well, now we're going to impeach you for lying to all of us, right? But it's a fair point, right? How enforceable is that? But beyond that, though, you've got to remember, Cuomo knows the system backwards and forwards. No one has been impeached and removed from the governor's office since 1912. This is not a well-oiled machine. There's a lot of, we have to have, and the Democrats benefit from parading all the procedural, we're moving fast on impeachment. Oh, look at Nancy Pelosi. She impeached Trump twice. Had no shot of actually getting this guy kicked out of office, but it was all about the kabuki theater of it, right? It was all about look what's going after him. So is Cuomo in deep trouble, Clay? Obviously, right? Like, this guy's fighting for his political life. But I'm telling you, man, honey badger. You got to think like he's honey badger.
I agree. And I think that's why he wants the vindication. Because the best vindication that he could get is, I'm going to step down. I understand I'm going to save New York from all this mess. And then I'm going to go back, wait a few months, announce that he's running for re-election in 2022. I don't even know if it would be technically re-election. And then he can throw himself on the New York public. And if they elect him, it is vindication that he was not worthy of having to step down.
This is essentially the Anthony Weiner playbook, right? He lost Congress.
Yes.
And then he went for mayor, and we all know how that ended up.
But the problem was he
federal
had
corrections jumpsuit.
Yeah, he had other scandals additional, right? I mean, they found more on Anthony Weiner after he stepped down. If he had stayed clean, he might have been able to get elected mayor.
I thought he's going to manage to stay prediction is out there, but
no, I'm telling you,
Clay's thinking
theory.
He goes and he runs again. I mean, that would be, of all the comeback stories we've seen in politics, I don't know if anything could really, maybe like Blagojevich becoming president or something, but anyway, I don't think that could even really happen. Actually, no, I think,